because we don't have, especially me, I'm the only one, the only art point that was in Wisconsin. All right. I didn't have anybody to, just drive over to the next city and have a discussion. I could pick up the phone and I could talk to somebody that started in California at the same time or Illinois or others, but it's not the same. So us sitting down together as franchise owners, even though we were in different markets, absolutely, we were having the same stresses that were going on, the same part of the ownership piece for making that leap. All right. So is it worth it? Certainly, we always find that it was, but it is always much more worthwhile if you have somebody nearby that you can talk to. And the quarterly meetings absolutely helped in that as well, too, in a more of a social setting, sitting
Yeah.
down, learning and talking to everybody.
Yeah, we were all going through the same shit together, and
Yes.
no one could. The Milwaukee market is obviously quite a bit smaller than Chicago. I came
Mhm.
from Great Clips. We had 30 something franchisees and over 200 locations. We were all flying the same flag. That made it really easy to run a co op meeting. I was the co op president. That's the structure that I took and implemented in Milwaukee so that we could talk about best practices. We were all in different industries, but we're all business owners and we all run into the same opportunities, the same, oh, how to open doors, who do you know, making those introductions or solving problems. So the First Friday group lives on today. And I think it's even more effective now, actually, in the Zoom format. People are connecting in the moment instead of having to wait until the meeting is over and catching somebody before they left for lunch. So
Yes.
I appreciate the ongoing participation when you can. Obviously, it's voluntary, and there were months where you were just drinking from a fire hose and unable to come. Now you've made a switch.
Yes.
So let's move into version two, the next generation of Alan and Terry and your next big adventure.
Sure. So certainly, as I looked about 9 years with that franchise, it was time. What was next? What's next for me? Where am I going? And so that's why I reached back out to you. All right, Meg 2.0 as well at this point for helping me. Tara and I enjoyed the first go round with you helping us getting everything going, and we had so many questions that you helped us with. This time through, still had questions, but they were different questions, more informed questions, maybe is the best way I'll say that. But certainly, as I'm looking for this next stage in me, looking at that point, I loved you helping me through on in this case now, the seniors helping seniors as we're all eventually aging into that, some with more gray hair than others. But I went through that somewhat with my parents. My sister was the caregiver for my father, maybe more so than a caregiver because he was still able to get around, but he was living by himself after my mom passed. I see that with my father-in-law now, who just recently sold his house and moved into independent living, but he is still somewhat isolated, even though he's got people around him.
Right.
So everything certainly that we can do as a generation, as we age, to keep people at home as long as they can in their own place, and being as productive, as friendly, as whatever comfortable that they need to be. That